3-inch radius. Here's our cone. How tall should it be?
12.
Okay, so how are we gonna solve this one? Any thoughts?
Take the radius.
Okay, well, what's the formula? You got that?
The formula is V equals pi 1/3 times R times height.
Radius squared times height. Now the problem here is that it doesn't tell us how much ice cream. I actually think this is a misprint if you struggled with this one. It doesn't tell us how much ice cream needs to fit in a cone. Okay, so I think we should just come up with a height and just solve it. So somebody pick a height for me and we'll just solve it because again, I think this is a misprint on their part. 12. Okay, we'll say height of 12. So I'm gonna just change this problem. 1/3 times pi, radius is 3. There we go, times the height. I didn't like the wording, you know, the scoop versus a cone. So we're just going to change it a bit. So we're going to answer this. So 3 squared is 9. 9 times 10 is 90. 1/3 of 90 is 30. So we're just going to say this one is 30 pi inches cubed, and we're going to go with that. Question number 2, calculate the volume of each of the following shapes given the information. For the first 3 questions, give the terms or answers in terms of pi, and by using 3.14, that tells me every one of those should have 2 answers. Okay, one will say like 8 pi, and then one with the actual decimal. So if you read the directions, how many of you have 2 answers for all of those? Okay, if the hands that aren't up, I'm guessing we didn't read that. Good job if you caught that. Okay, so sphere. Formula for sphere, remember?
Equals 4/3.
There you go. Okay, so what is the radius? 3. 4/3 times pi times 3 cubed. 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3.
27.
27. Times 4. Divide by 3. 36. Pi. Inches. Cubed. One answer. Then it says to use 3.14. 36 times 3.14. 113.04
That's what I got.
inches cubed. Need both of them. That's what the directions said. You're yelling. B. Cylinder. Volume, pi, r squared times the height. Radius is 3. Height is 6. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 6 is 54 pi. 54 pi inches cubed. Need the pi. 54 pi inches cubed. 54 times 3.14. 169.56 inches cubed. Again, need both answers. Cone. Hopefully, you notice, hey, this is the same thing they just gave me up here. All right, height of 6, diameter of 6, radius of 3. That's the same exact object. So all I gotta do is divide this by 3. 54 divided by 3 is 18. 18 times 3.14, 56.52. Okay, how are these related? All have the same height, all the same radius. Anybody catch that these two added together equals this one? Sphere plus a cone equals a cylinder. So however you want to describe that is fine with me. Question 3. Coin-operated bouncy ball dispenser is a large glass sphere that holds many. Large glass sphere has a radius of 9. Each bouncy ball has a radius of 1 and sits inside. All right, so we need to figure out the volume of the big spherical container that has a radius of 9. So volume of that, 4/3 pi r cubed. The radius is 9. 9 times 9 times 9 times 4, divide by 3. Sweet, comes out nice. So the volume of the container is 972 pi. Each bouncy ball has a radius of 1. 4/3 pi, radius of 1, cubed. 1 times 1 times 1, obviously, is 1. Times 4/3 is 4/3. So each bouncy ball is 4/3 pi, and it tells me I have 243 bouncy balls. So if I multiply it out, times 4, divide by 3, I get 324 pi. So this is how much space is taken up by the bouncy balls. All 243 of them. So I need to know what proportion is taken up by the bouncy balls. Well, 324 out of 972. That comes out to be 1/3. So 1/3 of the space in that container is taken up by the bouncy balls. Question number 4. Gavin, would you read that one, please?
A farmer has a water tank for cows that is shaped of a cylinder with a radius of 7 feet and a height of 3 feet. The tank comes equipped with sensors in order to alert the farmer to fill up when the water falls 20% capacity. What is the volume of the tank? What is the volume of the tank be when the sensor turns on?
All right, so we got to figure out the volume of that tank. All right, water tank. Plugged in 7, plugged in 3, so 49 times 3 times pi. 49 times 3 times 3.14. Volume of the tank is 461.58 at its fullest capacity. How am I going to figure out when it's 20% of that?
Divide by 0.2
No.
times.
So multiply by 0.2.
What's that? Yeah, figure out 20%, I'd have to multiply by 0.2. So when that water level gets to 92.316 cubic feet, that is when the alarm will turn on. That is 20% capacity. Anybody have a water tank on their operation? If you have
She does.
cattle, does an alarm go off? You don't have a water tank.